Hello, everyone. I'm Rajani. I'm extremely proud to introduce a project I've been working on since last year, a business podcast. I started this podcast last year to gain more insight on the business field through business owners' perspectives, and to share it with people like you who are also interested in going into business. Thus, I'm extremely honored to be able to share this with you all today. So, without further ado, let's get into the first episode of this series, starting with downtown Naperville Sweetwaters owner, Mr. Amin. Mr. Amin is an amazing entrepreneur who has a master's in business administration and is also a passionate engineer.
Thank you, Rajani. It's my pleasure for being part of this podcast. You pretty much said it all. For now, Amin, I'm a passionate engineer. That's my first love, I would say, being an engineering. But I do have a really good dedication and interest towards the business, as my father and my grandfather was also an entrepreneur. So probably it comes from the genes or blood. And I have a desire to work for my own self than working for others. So that's how this journey started. Like you said, I did pursue my business administration degree here, which is also with leadership and international business as a major in that one. So that's how the journey started. I have a wife and two kids, and I reside in Illinois. I work for Caterpillar as of today as well. I design big machines, earth-moving machines and mining machines. And like I said, I have a really interest in technical knowledge and grow. Right now, I'm pursuing to design a remote control machine that you sit anywhere, but it works in mining or any landfill or anywhere. You don't have to be at that location. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, wow, that's very interesting. And yeah, I find it really interesting how engineering and business can go together, because there's definitely a lot of things that can go together with business. For example, there can be media, there can be, as you said, engineering. So that's really cool. And so I know you started by, pursuing your business degree, and then you got some experience from working in different business locations as well. But how did you get inspired to open up a Sweetwaters specifically in Naperville?
Yeah, so it's an interesting story. When I was pursuing my business degree, I was planning to use that knowledge somehow. So I did open a grocery store as my first business in Plainfield, Naperville. It was a big success. So while that one, and I have a really passion about coffee. I like to try different coffee. I travel around the world through the business and through my work as well, especially in Europe. So I tried a lot of different kind of coffees, but something that I was looking for as different, it was not there. That's how this journey of finding a really good coffee started. I did go around to a lot of places in US as well and outside US, like down south in Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, all those things, because that's where all the coffee beans grew. And then I came back. I did not find a good choice either. I did not like the Starbucks coffee. I know it's a really big giant, but somehow I cannot drink it. It feels burned. So I was looking for something different, something unique, something that people like it. And of course, it's not artificially flavored. That's how this journey started. And I stumbled upon Sweetwaters in Michigan. And that's the first time in my whole career I drank a coffee without any ads in it. So dark coffee, which I cannot drink. A lot of people use a lot of milk, sugar, creamer just to make it taste better. That one was very smooth and without any ingredients in it. I can drink it. So that inspires. So I decided to stay with them. So a couple of days, 3-4 days, I stayed with the owner. I tried their different products. I understand their motto. And then I said, okay, this is something that I can bring it to Chicago or Illinois, which is not there. And that's how the journey started. And,
Wow, that's really amazing. Yeah, because I personally also am a big fan of coffee. I just can't drink black coffee. I have to also mix in like any syrups or sugar, milk, creamer. But
Mhm.
yeah, I've tried Sweetwaters drinks and they're really good. I've tried like some fruit drinks and also the
Mhm.
coffee drinks, and they're definitely like there's definitely is a difference, and it's a good difference too. So going back to what you said about opening up your own grocery store, so how did you like get inspired to like open up a business in general? Like I know um, this isn't Sweetwaters, but like how did you just have the idea to open up your own grocery store in specific, or just go into
Right.
yeah.
So interesting question. Yes. So any newcomers, right, who doesn't have a background or a establishment through their ancestors, and you wanted to start your new business, generally everybody is risk averse, right? They do not want to take a risk. So it was a very calculated, chosen risk that we took. Opening a grocery store, one, you have a less investment,
Mhm.
which is the biggest fear, right? If what if it doesn't work? The second idea that I chose was to go for a necessity. So people's necessity where you have a very less chance to go wrong or get not succeed. Because if it's a necessity, people are gonna come,
Mhm.
right? So that was the second one. Definitely. And the third thing, it was an ethnic grocery store. So it was Indian Asian, which we have a definite knowledge about it or
Mhm.
most knowledge about it. So you don't have to spend time in learning any new things that you try to do. So that's how I had a big, I guess, list of the potential businesses, but that's how I narrow it down to a grocery business. Because I just finished my MBA, I wanted to use my knowledge and how do I make it to as a practical example.
Mhm.
So those are the 3 points I chose that even if we fails, we're not gonna either lose money or have a any, I would say, a big setback.
Yeah.
So that's how I chose as a necessity, less investment, and you already have a knowledge about it. So it's very hard to go wrong in that one. So that's how the groceries business started. And once we started those, we already now got into the operation part of it and what it takes, how it can done, how can you manage. That increases your confidence to take more risk and do something new.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a really like interesting way to think about it, because um, since I don't really have too much experience in business, I would assume that people would try and jump into like, the deep waters and try and open like a really big fancy brand. And I like what you said about how since it's a necessity, obviously a lot of people will come and you can't go wrong. So that's really,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to work really hard to make it succeed,
Mhm.
which will be in any ways, but then it will not break your motto. It will not get you, I guess, uh, discouraged.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose that way to slowly get into it. Of course, it takes a hard work, but it's an enjoyable journey
Yeah.
because you know what you are doing. So,
Yeah, that's definitely true. So, regarding like opening up businesses, did you have any initial struggles with opening up Sweetwaters, or was it mostly smooth flowing?
no, you will find some challenges. I would say challenges. There will be some those kind of things every time. Uh, Not the things will go as you intended most of the time. And specifically, when we decided to do Sweetwaters, the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
That was the biggest challenge. Um, but I guess we were consistent. We wanted to do this. It was one of our dreams. So I wanted to do it, and we decided to pursue that. Um, it sent a really good message to the community that even in a downtime, I'm taking that as an opportunity and helping others, right? Because even though it was a pandemic, it was all closed down. A lot of businesses were going out of the business. We still kept continuing at a slow pace that provided all my contractors and workers earnings during those really difficult days. So it actually sent a really positive message out there. Even though it's a difficult time, I'm providing a lot of employment to a lot of people and try to get through that. So
Yeah, because I also saw in a Leading Needs channel interview that you decided to open up during the pandemic, which is really both shocking and cool because a lot of businesses decided to close down and also some had to go out of business. So when you decided to open up in the pandemic, I know you said you viewed that as an opportunity, but how did you build on your opportunity to expand Sweetwaters or even grow even further?
right. So of course, it's pandemic changed a lot of things, right? The people were not out. You can't do the traditional way of marketing or the traditional way of sending the community messages out. So we do need to change few ways. We started with the standard practice, like social media and all, because I'm not big on a social media, or I was not. Now I am. I took that as an opportunity to learn that because now since offices were closed, everybody's at home, they were more on the social media or TVs and all. So I took that as an opportunity to market Sweetwaters and what I need to bring or what I'm bringing to the community. So that was the one aspect. The other aspect was when it started a little bit loosening it down, I did my in-person marketing. And that's one of the, I guess, values in Sweetwaters to make it as a family-friendly and more community-based cafe. So as an owner, walking down to all the businesses, introducing myself, talking about Sweetwaters really helped. So that was a different way of doing it. The other traditional way of sending out mails or postcards or I would say special coupons, I don't think so. It did really work, or it will work because nobody's going to come out as a pandemic, and when we open, it's too late. A lot of challenges to set back about completing the constructions. I guess I changed my opening date 3 times because one or the other way, there are some restrictions from the government. So a lot of those kind of setbacks, but we continued engaging community in one way or the other. Like I said, we had to change our fundamentals to how we approach and promote, or I would say spread the awareness. That's the right way because it's the first time the Sweetwaters coming to Chicago. Nobody has heard about it. Nobody knew what it is and what it brings to the community. So yes, it was a little bit of challenge, but we went through it. We passed through those challenges.
Yeah, really like insightful because I know that I personally was scrolling through a lot of social media accounts like Instagram, TikTok, I don't know, Snapchat, anything I could find just to pass time. And nowadays I feel like the traditional commercials that you see on TV are also like there, but social media is definitely something that's like utilized a lot nowadays, especially to market yourself. So going back to the community aspect of Sweetwaters, so when you had the decision to place Sweetwaters in downtown Naperville, how do you go about choosing where to place it? Because obviously downtown Naperville is a great place for a community since a lot of people go there, hang out with friends, and try out new places. But there are also a lot of food and beverage places already existing within Naperville downtown. So how did you go about like knowing that was the best place to place that, and like what was your final decision and overcoming that competition and like knowing this was the place?
Right. So a couple of ideas, and that helps my engineering background and my experience blend with the business. So when I came over here, I've been in the vicinity for last 15 years. So I've been in Naperville since last 10, 15 years as a visitor, or we always come to Naperville. We know how Naperville grew. We know how the community is, how diversity is. And now I live in Plainfield, but earlier I was living in Aurora, so it was pretty close, and it's our daily routine. So I knew the area. That's one. Second thing is, yes, how do I decide Naperville, right? Yes, it was not my first choice from the beginning as like I'm just gonna do this and that's it. I didn't see anything else. No, I went around a lot of places because there are a couple of things goes into how you decide the location, and location is a key for any business. So definitely, I did a lot of surveys on different places. I looked at the demographics. I looked at the incomes. I looked at the age group, right? The other thing I do, which I don't see most of the business owners do when they start, I generally talk to the city or council and see what are their plans in order to grow that particular area. What are the new businesses are coming? What are their 10 years plan to upgrade, renovate? How are you going to keep that liveliness into that particular area? So I ask those things to the government, and they give us a good answer that here are the plans. So then I know that yes, the community and the city is behind this particular area, that they wanted to develop that. So that's a really big part in the surveys. When I get all this data, that's where my engineering background comes in the picture. And I do a lot of statistical analysis. And then I put some criteria as I go through, we call it as a Pew matrix. We go through that and it will drill down to, with the criteria that you define, what is the best place for what you're intended to do. So that's how I nailed down to Naperville. Naperville was there in mind, but because, like you said, a lot of competitions, it's a very high-end area, it's an expensive area, and to start a new business, which is not a well-known, I would say, which is not a known brand, you are coming with something new. How are you going to, place your bids? So those things gets into there. Specifically, the surveys that I did in Naperville, that helped me a lot. A lot of people told that they are looking for something new, something refreshing, other than Starbucks. They are tired of it. They want something really different. So that is definitely one of the factors, because I knew Naperville supports. Another biggest advantage in Naperville was community support. They supports the local businesses very well. The community itself and the businesses to businesses as well. They support each other out in order to grow and sustain. So, and diversity. Diversity is another biggest factor that Naperville has. Ethnicity also is a diversity. The age group also, so you'll see from 18 to till 80 years old people in Naperville. And also the income. So you'll see from student all the way to the high earning incomes. So a lot of diversity that helps support a lot of business. So that helped make me decision that this is the place I'm gonna go.
Yeah, because when you look at Naperville downtown, automatically people would think like, oh yeah, that's like a perfect place to place a business, because a lot of people go there almost like every day. Someone is like, a lot of people are with their friends and just walking down the streets, and they're trying to go to new places with their friends, especially during summer. And when you look at it through a business perspective, you see that, oh, there's Starbucks, and that's now Starbucks Reserve. That's even more popular now. And then there's like Sparrow Coffee, and then all these other tea, coffee places along with food. And you just then realize like, oh, there's a lot of competition. So yeah, I definitely think surveys would definitely be
right. So the people and demographic surveys, right? And the other way to look at it, which I do see, is if you have a competitions there,
Yeah.
and they are doing good, it's a good location for you to be in as well, because if they are surviving and they with this lot of I guess competitions, people are looking for a new things. They have already done their homework about all these analysis. So if you wanted to be a little bit cost effective in your analysis, that's another way to look at it. But I did a lot of competitive analysis too. I've been to, for an example, Starbucks, different time of the day, early morning, 5 o'clock, in midnight, in the afternoon, late night, couple of days, different days, and see what are the inflow and outflow, what are the popular trends, what people like, what people don't like. And not just Starbucks. I did like another 15 close by businesses, a similar survey. So it takes time, but you get really good data, and then you understand that what is the theme, match that with your survey, that what you are getting, people are saying, oh, we want something new, but do they really want something new, right? So when you do competitive analysis, then you know that, okay, these are the popular drinks or popular items. These are the things it's not, people want it, but it's not popular. So then you find your opportunities where you.
Yeah. So going back to knowing what people want and like how you can utilize that. So obviously Sweetwaters is very unique for using their natural ingredients.
Right?
And so when you open it, when you open Sweetwaters, I know you yourself said that like Sweetwaters isn't a very known brand in Chicago. So how did you market your uniqueness towards people in downtown Naperville, like of any age group too? How did you like say, yeah, like this is why we're unique, and how did you make them come in and also like stay with you guys?
Right. No, that's a good question. So there are three core values that I market, right? One is our real and natural ingredients, which are globally inspired. So it's not like a regular coffee shop that you have a beans, you get the beans from one place, and then you roast it differently. These are specific beans, ingredients that comes from a specific region around the world. So when I say if it's French chicory coffee, for an example, then it is coming from France. When I say 412, then it's four regions around the world, which has a specific atmosphere to grow those beans. And it takes 12 years. So I put that name as a 412, that four region around the world, and it takes 12 years to grow that specific bean with a specific taste and aroma. And those beans comes to me. So with tea is same way, different part of the world, we get the tea. So that's very uniqueness from our business, that we get those ingredients as a real ingredients to us. The second thing is the family-friendly environment. We wanted to have a high-end neighborhood cafe, which is locally owned, supported by the community, but then it's family friendly. So we want people to come in and spend time, not like as a cash cow, what we call in a business, that you come, grab and go, like a Dunkin' model. Dunkin' model is like you come, take your coffee and leave. Where our model is you come, spend time with your family, friends, enjoy your day, relax. We would also like to chat with you and make network connections. So that's another way. The third thing is definitely most valuable is the community aspect. We wanted to grow with community, not just grow by ourselves. So we support community in the way we can, involve community to our side, and also we do involve with them as well. So, and just give you an example. When you stop by to the cafe, you see a lot of art on my walls. Those are all local artists. I promote local artists. I tell them to come and place their artwork in my cafe. So it's an exploration for a lot of people. When they come to my cafe, they'll see the art and they get recognized. We had a school band come in to show their skills. We're going to have a game night. Now, since everything is going to open, we want family and friends to come and enjoy. So we're going to have a game night. We're going to have a talent night. We're going to have some different way of bingo nights, for an example. So there are different ways we wanted to involve community and have them be family-friendly environment, provide them family-friendly environment. Those are the three couple of unique aspects that differentiates us from others. I have like 40 different globally inspired drinks, which you cannot find anywhere else. So I think that's how we differ.
Yeah, for sure. Because my friends and I actually came into Sweetwaters once, and right when I stepped in, that was my first time coming in, and just like the whole atmosphere was like really nice and pleasing. Just the way it's designed, the lights and like the soft lights. And then I also know that you guys have a separate meeting table where you allow people to come in and have meetings or host like anything that they'd like, and they can reserve that table. And it's like a pretty huge part of your store, I'd say, and it's like a really nice addition to it because you don't see that anywhere else. Like, yeah, you'll see like nicer tables at like within a store. Like you'll be like, oh yeah, that's like the bigger table in the store, but then yours is like specifically catered to having more community bonds and family bonds and like nourishing those bonds. So that's definitely something that really struck my eye when I came in. And so going back to like marketing the uniqueness and making sure people stick with Sweetwaters, how would you what would you say like is the demand for natural ingredients? Because a lot of people from at least this generation are more accustomed to like the more processed kinds of foods. Like they're more used to fast food. They're more used to like the quick and ready-made kind of food and drinks. So what would you say the demand is for that natural ingredients, at least for this generation?
Yeah, I do see it increasing as more and more awareness goes out, or people get more educated or getting towards the more healthier side. So that's where I see it's going to increase slowly. I do see, like I said, when I do research, I did see that people do look for those kind of different things, right? They are going more towards the natural teas. They are going towards more natural ingredients. Started going artificial flavor. I agree with you because you are so used to it. It's little different taste. It will probably take some time to accustom the taste. But that's why we have a lot of blended drinks where you get the natural ingredients, but you don't feel a very different taste. So, for an example, our teas are very natural, naturally leaf, and that's brewed, nothing added. It has a natural sweetness, so you don't add anything. It's so refreshing. So people started noticing those because I have 20 different types of teas, some fruit flavors, some flower. So like jasmine you mentioned, those teas. I have pomegranate teas, passion fruit teas. Those are all natural flavors and natural sweetness, nothing added. So you will feel, I get a comment that it's when they drink that, you feel refreshness versus the hyperness, because the others have a lot of sugar and everything in it or artificial flavor. Then you become more hyper versus the freshness. So that's what I started getting as a comment. So it looks like it's working. People started getting more into it. And I'm going to work more on towards offering more and more different those kind of unique beverages.
Yeah, because I know that coffee does make you feel like energized in the beginning, and then kind of feel like that sugar crush coming down on you, and then you're kind of a little lethargic for the rest of the day, and then so and so. But definitely like refreshing drinks, especially tea, especially like when it's like pure tea and no artificial things added, that definitely makes a difference for the health and also just like your momentary like focus on certain things. And so going to specific like what meant like for business and your attitude towards business for teenagers who are aspiring to go into business. Obviously there are many streams of business, and for each stream you have to have a different mentality. So a lot of teenagers, especially myself, we all are trying to get a better grasp of like what business is, because business is really used in a vague sense nowadays. Like a lot of people say, yes, I'm in business, but business can be honestly anything. So what would you say is like, if you don't mind, like, could you explain like what your role in business is and like your day-to-day tasks and what your daily routine entails, just so we can get a better insight on
Yeah, sure, definitely. It's if you are the owner, right? Probably, I would say you need to have understanding of every aspect of the business. Initially, definitely, because you are starting it up. So you know what to and how to you want to pursue that particular business. Once you have up and running, then definitely you wanted to, I guess, deliver those tasks or share this task with your team. Have them take the ownership of certain tasks. And the reason behind this is, if you keep doing the same everything by yourself, you will not have time to think something different. You will not have time how to grow your business. But your focus should be, once it's up and running, is to how to grow the business. Find a different ways to market your business. Find a different ways to what's the next step for your business. Otherwise, you're going to stay stagnant. You're going to be there. That's what you do not want to do. But you should know the every aspect. So right now, my daily routine is, like I said, I do work for Caterpillar. So I work for Caterpillar. But then in the evening, at least a couple of days a week, I go to the cafe. I know all the recipes. I help behind the bar if it's needed. But I don't do it every day. It's in case if it's needed, you are there to help. Otherwise, we have a team who takes care of it. What my major role now is to maintain the inventory, optimize all the expenses, right? Employment, all the other behind the scene work. That is what I do when I go there, to make sure it's ready for next day, to make sure it's ready for next month, what needs to be done. I plan 2 months in advance on all the activities and events, that what we're going to do after 2 weeks, what are the activities that's coming. So this is for growing the awareness, marketing the cafe. What's the next step to grow, right? Those kind of ideas and things, for that you need some time. Yes, my daily routine is mostly behind the scene work, but it takes a lot of time in order to make sure your cafe is running very smoothly. Making sure what needs to be ordered, right? You don't order too much, otherwise your money is now stuck with your inventory. What's coming? Now it's summer. So what are the things and ingredients you need more compared to the winter? So those kind of analysis I do. I keep checking all the revenue and expenses, where to manage, what to do, where to grow, all those kind of, that's just generally my, I would say, the daily routine. But I do keep an eye on high level as well. I'm an engineer, so I do take care of maintenance to all our equipment. So I use those knowledge so I don't have to pay someone outside. Because in initial stage, you want to cut down all your expenses as much as you can. So I use as much skills that I have or others in my team to keep running my business smoothly.
So when you say that you use your engineering background into like your business side as well, obviously it's good to take another either minor or double major with something else as well as business. So would you say that there's a specific either other major you can double with or a minor that is best to take with business or a stream of business, or can it just be anything?
Again, I would say depends on your interest. You do not want to force yourself something that you do not like. I like mechanical, so I'm a mechanical engineer. So that's why I have those interests and I do that. Otherwise, you have some other strong aspiration that you do along with the business and be good at it. So, right. So for an example, let's say you are really good in marketing, which I am not. But if you are really good in marketing and you are doing the business, focus on that and give the maintenance to someone else, right? Something like that. You basically, as your skills and talents, as much as definitely to me, I would say the engineering background helps to initiate the business.
Right.
Otherwise, you give it to someone else, but then you adjust somewhere else where you are strong and take those as your commitment. To my, I guess, looking at my life and my knowledge, yes, I would say, yeah, with the mechanical background and with the management degree, it helps.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did with the major in leadership, and that helps to manage your team. How you hire, how you keep them happy, make it as a friendly environment, so you have a good and long-term employees. The other was the international business. So I know a little bit inside out of when I start the business, what needs to be done, where you go as getting the license and all those things. So those helps that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, like a lot of teenagers, like would be interested in going into business and majoring in business.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, so a lot of people want to go into business, but we don't really know how to start. So if you don't mind, like, how did you come into business? Like, did you plan out your school, like your school activities, your extracurriculars, courses in high school and college? I know you majored in business at college, but for high school, did you already know you wanted to go into business? And then did you plan your courses accordingly along with your extracurriculars, or just how did you get the inspiration?
Right. Yes, there was interest of having my own business, or like I said, working for my own self, not for someone. But I also had a really good interest in engineering. So I did pursue my engineering first. And when I came over here and when I established myself as a good engineer, I started pursuing my dream. So one thing definitely, you don't know where life's gonna take you. It's unpredictable, but keep the desire to learn. And I would say pursue your passion. Definitely. I always say to my kids and others that if you have a dream, then give it a chance to happen. So you wanted to do that. It's always, I tell that if you want to do something, you have to try.
Right.
So you have to give that thing a chance to have it there. Otherwise, it's going to be just a dream. So that's what inspired me, that I wanted to do something for my own. So I did my MBA. When I started my college, I wanted to do engineering plus business as an education. That was very clear to me because I wanted to learn more and get the different aspect of the business, which you just don't get it by doing a couple of subjects in engineering. It's a totally new world when you do the MBA. So a lot of aha moments when you do the specific MBA, right? But that was very clear. I did not want to do a bachelor's and then the master's into the same stream. I wanted to do the bachelor's and the business. So I pursued that dream, and that helped me in order to start my business. So again, if you have a dream, give it a chance to happen.
So did you already know you wanted to go into business before high school? And then did you plan your high school curriculum and extracurriculars based on that? Or did you get that like after you graduated high school?
Yeah, that is after the graduation of the high school. When I started college, it was very interesting, but the desire to learn more, plus like I said, I have seen through my childhood business activities in my family. I was not part of the business as like going every day over there, but I have seen those growing up. So definitely that was one of the parts that I think it's in my brain that I wanted to do something for myself, like my grandfather and my dad did. So yes, there was a passion to do. I found the passion, which was coffee, and then I started pursuing. So there was a desire to do something, but in which field and how, like I said, that I was not sure graduating the high school.
Right.
Uh,
Can I ask what your family business was and like how did you get inspired by that? Or just like
yes,
your family business?
definitely. That is definitely my grandfather. He was a professor in a university, but then he see a family need to grow uh, as a business because he had a lot of challenges, or he had a lot of responsibilities that he has to overcome. So he did learn because he was a chemical professor in chemical engineering. So he knew a lot of compounds. So he started learning more about the rubber stoppers, which you see in a lot of places as a liner. If you remember earlier, the injection were coming in the glass bottles, and then there was a rubber stoppers on top of it. So he started making those, but he learned first what other things goes into it. It was a little easier for him because he had a chemical background. But he learned first, and then he started his own business. So that kind of inspires me that he had a passion, maybe he had a different circumstances, but he did not fail. He struggled to learn, he learned, and then he did his own business. So that was inspiring to me always when I look back as my grandfather, how he built up his own business. And I think I pursued the similar way, that I learned what my passion, once I found my passion, I learned about it. Then I guess acquired the knowledge that's needed. And then I started pursuing the Sweetwaters.
Wow, really inspiring because just having that inspiration from your grandfather and then carrying it out in your own way, that's definitely something that would keep you going and like remember how you started this and why you started this. So that's definitely like a great mentality to have, which brings me to my next question. So obviously in business you have to have a certain mentality in order to sustain and then also to grow and just to first start. So what would you say that the mentality should be for either teenagers aspiring to go into business or people who aren't teenagers who are still aspiring to go into business, and also just people who already are in business?
Yeah, I would say have a passion about it. You need to have a passion what you are looking into. Believe in yourself and in your products. That's the main thing, passion. Be disciplined. You need to be disciplined on what you are doing. Don't just give up. Pursue that dream, and follow your dream. One other thing I would say, don't kill your curiosity. That's always good. You'll come up with a lot of new ideas. Have that curiosity, desire to learn, right? But follow your passion. Don't discourage. Be disciplined and follow your passion. You'll be succeed.
It's definitely something that we can all work on instead of, when things get tough, we should just persevere. And so my last question before we get on to our final two questions is, what was your vision when you first started Sweetwaters, and how close are you to fulfilling that vision? Or would you want to try and do something else?
Yeah, so the vision was, like I said, one of the visions was to have a family-friendly cafe with providing unique and different beverages that you have not experienced yet. But we wanted to be more community aspect, being more engaged with community. I would say I'm not there yet because of the pandemic. There are a lot of limitations here, but we are getting there with, like I mentioned, a couple of programs that we are planning to inspire families to come and enjoy with their family and friends. The main vision was to build that community aspect, build that family-friendly environment, have those people to come in, our guests to come in and enjoy. So we are getting there. We started getting into community. I provide a lot of platform to different artists, skills. We did open with a lot of big charity event. We plan like 2 or 3 charity events around the year. But apart from them, we get into the schools. We just did the teacher appreciations day. There are a lot of unique, initiatives out there in the community to help kids grow them as a better person, help with the challenging people. So I strive for those, look for those, and then I go help them out. We as a Sweetwaters, make them as a part of family, and then we try to help as we can. So I guess it's not enough yet. We are still starting, but we are getting there.
Yeah, I definitely think you're like really close to there, because I thought that you're definitely like very on the right path, because I know that when you said trying to help students be better, individuals, I know that you have like a coupon where for every A you get, you also get a certain deal on a drink.
Right.
So going back to the community, I saw me and my friends went to Mod's Pizza the other day, and I saw that you partnered with them. So for every with your Mod's receipt, you get a 15% discount on your Sweetwaters drink. So with that, how do you decide like which businesses you want to partner with? Because I know there are drink stores. I know like drink stores could clash, but could they also work? Or do you like go based on specific foods, or would you also partner with just boutique stores or like stores that aren't food related? Just how do you go about that?
Right. No, good question. Yeah, there were some thoughts behind it. It's interesting. Actually, yes. So Mod Pizza, of course, it's across our street, right? But the main thing is generally I've seen that people come there as a dinner, right? And we have desserts. So I started increasing my dessert menu. So that goes kind of hand in hand, that if I wanted to market and spread the words that now this is not just a coffee and tea place, we have a light fare. Like now people know that we have a breakfast, but now not everybody know that they have the desserts. So that's another way to market, tying up with, let's say, Mod Pizza or other. Naperville has a lot of food restaurants. If I tie up with them and spread the words that after dinner, hey, if you want a dessert, you can come to my place. If you want a coffee, you can come to my place and you will get 15% off if you show me the receipt. So that's the way I'm trying to, it's a different way of marketing and spreading the word that this is not just a coffee place, but you'll see dessert as well. Or if you come in the morning, you'll have a breakfast as well, those sandwiches. So that's how I started thinking and started marketing. I had a couple of, so I did tie up with Peri Peri, Nando's as well. I'm going through a couple of others who can be part of it. I do, like I said, go with the schools. So different way to partner for different reasons. Schools to give them a venue for their meetings or PTO events or fundraisers. So we can help them with the fundraiser. So I partner with school with that way. I partner with the apartment complex by giving them welcome kit and then say, okay, hey, if you move into apartment, come to our place, you get a free drink, something like that. So different way to partner with different kind of businesses. I can't just go to apartment and say, hey, we have a dessert, but we can tell them, hey, we have coffee and we have a lot of other options. When you come to the area, you get a free drink from us. So that's a different way of marketing. So specific to the Mod Pizza, the idea was to share the message that we have a dessert as well. So after dinner, you can stop by.
I didn't know about the whole apartment thing. That's like a really cool idea. And for the Mott's Pizza, I know a lot of people, if you eat pizza, especially for lunch and even sometimes dinner, like you would crave,
You
coffee.
are there for dinner, so I'm sure after that you're gonna go for ice cream or you're gonna go for a dessert or something like that. So
Yeah.
that's the one way definitely helps. Uh, Offices, right? I go and partner with them for catering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because offices will have events, they have those kind of meetings, we can cater to them. So I did started those, we do cater them as well. It's slowly getting there, but yeah, I'm thinking different ideas to partner with different kind of business, that how it's helpful to them. How can we help each other out?
Yeah. So would you consider collabing with drink places too, or is just that or is it that you don't want?
I am trying. I guess in the drink places, for an example, Tapville. If you know Tapville, it's more of the alcoholic beverages.
True.
But they do serve lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, people don't drink alcohol in the lunchtime.
Yeah.
But they can have a cold brew, which we have,
Mm-hmm.
or different unique drinks that we have.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to partner with them as well and see if they can offer our cold brew during their lunchtime. It's cold, it's really good, and it's not that they're gonna get any alcohol beverage. So that's one way to do it. The other thing is I did work on some recipes that they can use our couple of tea, and they can use that with their alcoholic beverages. Mm-hmm. So they can add whatever liquor, vodka with our ginger raspberry tea, and it goes really well. They can have whiskey with our cold brew, and that goes really well. Mm-hmm. So there is a different way to partner with drink stores. It will be hard to partner someone with Sparrow because they have the same kind of thing that us. So probably I won't partner with them, or not because they are competitor, but because there is no good match. What I can offer to them or they can offer to me.
Yeah, because I was thinking more of like, would coffee and coffee stores go together? Because obviously there's the thing where you want to keep your natural ingredients brand image out, and you wouldn't want to partner with people who don't really use natural ingredients. So definitely something to consider as well. And lastly, in Naperville downtown, as we all know, there's so many businesses. So what would motivate everyone to come together, and like, are you willing to all come together? I know you've partnered with certain stores, but would there be something that would bring all the businesses together, forgetting all your competition? I know downtown Naperville is a very inclusive place and there's not too much competition, but would there be something that motivates like all the businesses to come together?
So we do. So I'm not sure have you heard about NSCC, which is Naperville Area Chamber of Commerce, and we are part of those. Well, mostly all the businesses are part of those. Mm-hmm. So we do come together and share our ideas. Mm-hmm. We share ideas. We help each other out how to grow. Give them. If someone is having some kind of issue, we try to solve that. Hey, I had this and this is how I solved. Maybe this works. So we have that cohesiveness. There are some different committees also. For an example, small business committee. So then all the small businesses like us get together maybe once a month or twice a month. And then we share our knowledge or interesting ideas with each other. The other thing is, if I am having some difficulties, then there is some other business who are expert in that area. For an example, if I need to have some legal advice, then there is a person who runs the law firm, and that help us out, or insurance. So there are a lot of good ways to come together, and NSCC is one of the part of that we all are together in NSCC, or different committees that we run, but those committees are also part of NSCC.
Yeah. Wow. I actually did not know about that. That's really cool. And it's nice that everyone can come together and like it's a really nice and peaceful environment because
Yeah.
yeah, with so
It's
many people.
there. Yeah, it's a very unique and really nice way to meet each other and also help each other out. There's
Yeah.
always that motto when we meet together.
Mhm.
Sometimes we do after hours. So after business hours, we get together for maybe 1 or 2 hours and we just chit chat. It's just like kind of a networking event. Just talk to each other, introduce yourself, talk to each other. That's kind of thing.
Wow,
So
that's
it's really good.
yeah, it sounds really nice. Yeah. So that's what I had to say and ask you. So thank you so much for coming on here and providing your insight and your amazing advice to teens and just like your experiences as well. And those were just really insightful answers as well. And so this definitely helped at least me, and I'm sure like everyone who's viewing this, just to get a better idea on how businesses process ideas, go ahead with ideas, and just even grow just the business itself. And then also what business actually looks like for people wanting to go into business. And so, yeah, so with that, we will be signing off. So thank you all to the people who are watching for coming on here and listening. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Yeah.
Thank you. My pleasure.